I have been playing with Google AI Studio for a while now, built about 9 apps. Along the way, there are lessons learned. In today's video, I will provide you insights to save you hours of frustration to use Gemini to build AI apps. Key lessons you need to know before your next project breaks. My name is Celine Xu. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. This channel is for business professionals who don't want to be left behind. I share practical ways to think about and use AI so supports better decision and great efficiency. This video will be 2 parts. The first part, I will summarize 6 lessons and key action plan for you. Second part, showing you the live recording explaining where those lessons come from and the solutions. Stay to the end. There are 2 bonus info. Let's dive in. Lesson number 1. Keep your app simple. Google AI Studio is not meant for production-ready or complex app. It's sandbox for testing idea and building proof of concept. If your app gets too complicated or you rely too much on Gemini for debugging, you will hit the wall. I've had apps that after 5 hours tweaking and debugging with agent end up failure at even the most basic function. The takeaway: at a certain point, things just stop working, and you won't know why. That's the drawback of wipe coding. Even if you think you know why, you don't know where in the code to fix it. So, don't overpolish. Get the core function working, demo it, and move on. Lesson number 2. Small changes can break everything. When you request a small changes, the agent might rewrite your entire document. I will show you in demo. You don't have control over that. For example, if you ask for a small change with a simple instruction, your whole might just get redesigned. Or if you let the agent auto-fix one bug, suddenly your front page disappeared. Be specific and always expect changes to ripple across your code. This especially happened in Google AI Studio, and I would say the Claude Code did a better job. Lesson 3. Set up local Git and use version history. Do this from the beginning. You need versioning. I had several times feel powerless when use prompt for debugging and end up with nothing changed. And it takes me a while to find the way I can actually use open version history button and reverse the version. This will save you when things break, and they will. Google AI Studio also supports you to connect to your GitHub. So start to think like an engineer today. Versioning. Lesson number 4. Use a paid KPI key. When building an app, the system will not directly let you know you need an API key for the AI brain behind the system until you got a great UI interface, but nothing running behind. So if you need an application provide your image recognition, speech-to-text, or any other advanced AI function, you need to create an API key first, especially the paid version. So what you need to do is you need to have an account at console.cloud.google.com and then create project and then enable relevant service or APIs and then have an active billable account. iStudio is free, but each API call and storage are not. I will show you how to create an API key in Google AI Studio and how to link it to your paid Google Project account in the demo. Lesson number 5. You can't upload an image or a file directly. You can only use them as a reference. It's not like Claude Code. You can't just ask Gemini. Use the file or image I upload and store it in the code repository. The app will not directly use the image you provide. Gemini insists on generating the image. It seems it converts your image to some kind of text and then use the text as a prompt to regenerate a new one. And not like Nano Banana. When Gemini built, they are not at least not up to my expectation. Really random, and sometimes not even looks like or looks close to the image I provide. Here is the workaround for image. Let the app create a function enable you upload your own image manually as a cover. But keep in mind, in this way, the upload image don't persist between sessions. You will have to re-upload every time. And about the file, not like Claude on Notebook LM, you are not able to let the agent behave exactly based on the instruction in the file. Your file is just a reference, and the builder maybe read it and output an simple version in storage. This is why do not expect Google AI Studio help you to build the complex app, or the app will exactly fit your expectation. Hope this lesson will save you some time for trying, at least until now. And if anyone knows how to directly upload an image or file to the app's code repository in Google AI Studio, love you to comment below. I love to learn. Lesson number 6. Sharing comes with a cost. The good news, you can share or deploy your app directly. Use Share Your App or Deploy option in Google AI Studio. This is really convenient for demo or new user to try out. But make sure your app can separate from your own API credential. Otherwise, when others use your app, no matter is share or deploy, every API call is charged to your account. If you're interested in to have another video show you how to build an app, exclude your own API credential, and let people use their own API keys, comment below. Now, here comes the demo. The first one is how you actually debugging. I tried to develop my app, and after maybe 25 rounds, I suggest you stop. And it never really come up. So as you see, I was trying to solve the same issue for after 25 try. It's always coming up. For example, I said, I'm not able to see the first page, and could you fix that? And it's one time, second time, third time, fourth, fifth. I'm still having same trouble. I was talking about no luck, same trouble, and still have the warning, failed to load it. So I realized if you don't know the code, you don't really know how to debug it. And I try to understand, I'm not an engineer by myself, but I know a little bit code. Since they mention a lot about index HTML, I was able to find where is index HTML. And when you type the fix the problem, you can stay in the code page and you can see what is changed. It's not helping you debugging, but this lets you know when you ask for a change, what things change. And it surprised me. Every time I let it to change something, it's changed my whole index. So it's the other tip. Google AI Studio is not change a small amount of things. If you want it change, maybe you see A is not working. It probably will change B and C also, and you're not really in control of that. I highly suggest when you have something change, open the code to see how it's changed. You will understand how big change it may go. Then go back to the first suggestion is, don't use this for so complex program. It doesn't work. I already burned 2 of that, including this one. And I still no luck, and I give up. I said I'm still not able to load the app, which like file I need to check. I even think to actually copy and paste the code to ChatGPT or Claude code to help them debug it. However, I realized something here. So something interesting I didn't use before, open version history. And you will see it's a load, have different timelines. So you will see 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. So for me, I reversed the snapshot to the yesterdays, and I saved this app specifically. This is your last chance, and you need to have this set up. And before this setup, I set up a local Git connect to my Google AI Studio, and I highly recommend. At the same time, you also have 2 more things. One is you can download the app, but I'm not able to make it work on my local environment, so this one is another way. But I always save the things to my GitHub, and the function version I will stage and commit all changes, and I will guarantee it functioning. Last but not least, I also try out this deploy app function. It's quite nice. Sometimes it's not deployed, but you don't really know why not deploy, but you just repress the deploy button, and my app get deployed. This app I deployed, iFashion Studio. You can let your friend try out. But remember, when you connect your KPI key to this app, when you deploy it, it's you to pay for that each run of KPI call. So be cautious about the cost. But anyway, it's really nice to deploy it. It's successfully deployed in the Google Cloud, and you can have the link when you see here, and you will see your app is showing up, and you are able to see the whole app functioning. This one and this one, sharing app, you can share to your friends to use, which you limited amount of people to use your app. Last but least is select KPI. Sometimes the model doesn't work is because you don't really have a KPI key here. For example, this is the invoice flow. You will see like this, which means you don't really access the API. You have the free version and they don't really have a brain backup. You just have the user interface. This one, I don't have API key here. It says choose a paid key for orchestration. And I need to select a project. So either I select any of that or I import a project. And those are the project linked to my Google platform. If none of the key really relevant, you can use create new key here. And you can give the name of the key and choose the project and create a project. And this project will directly create within your Google Cloud platform. So how you check? I normally go to view all the history, and also I say get API key, and then you can press project and you will see different project. As you see, the voice project have 2 keys and both tier 1, which means I already pay for that. But Dample one is a new one, but I don't have key, and it says the free tier. And then I can set up building, and I can link a billing account if I want. And then I will have a fully function API key for my project. Let's recap. In Google AI Studio, when building apps, keep the app simple. Expect a simple instruction while having large changes. Set up a local git and use version history. Use a paid API key. And you can't upload an image or a file directly yet. When deploy or share, watch out for your cost. Pro tips for smarter. There is an annotate button from conversation bar. This function lets you tell Gemini what you want to change by interacting directly with your app preview. Rather than just typing text prompt, it's a visual app editing tool that's designed to make refine your app more intuitive and visually. The second button, called Copy App, is from the top bar. This one lets you duplicate your app, creating a new identical version you can experiment without affect your original. This is especially useful if you want to keep a backup because AI Studio auto-saving might override things you don't want to change, or make major feature addition or design without risk your working version. And you can also use this button to find the app in the gallery. To duplicate them, then you can make it into your own version, build it, play with it. If this video inspires you, please hit the like button and share it with someone you think needs it. Subscribe for more practical, non-hype content on using AI. Comment below. What app you are using to build your proof of concept now? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.